Alright YouTube, what is going on? Hightower 5000 here, today bringing another Runescape 3 quest guide. Today's quest is within the light. I can start this quest by talking to Arianwyn in Lletya. The requirements I need for this quest basically are Mourning Part 2, which is linked in the description below. You're also going to need levels 69 agility, 70 fletching, 75 range and 75 woodcutting. Boosts are unfortunately not possible. Item requirements for this quest are a death's talisman. You're also going to need a crystal trinket, which I'll show you how to get during this video. You're also going to need another set of Mourning's clothes, so you're going to need two sets. If you've not already got a set, or you probably need to obtain a second set like I did, I will show you how to get that after this clip. Recommended items, which you really sort of do need to bring, or you're just going to be struggling and you're going to be walking all over RuneScape, which who wants to do that? Teleport system to Ardung. Now you could use the lodestone, but I've got runes to make it much faster. Teleport out here to Lletya. Yes, you can use the lodestone again, but I've got the teleport crystal. This can be recharged just outside the city by talking to loons for a small fee. I'd recommend bringing the wicked hood in case, like me, you've probably fucked up and at the end of the last quest, Mourning's End Part 2, left the light gate in the wrong direction. Recommend bringing like 4 prayer pots. They're going to be needed because you're going to need to be praying a lot. If you don't have full prayer points, then climb up these stairs here, and there's an altar in this room just above the bank, and also some food. Okay, so to get a second Mourner's outfit, where you're going to need to go is you're going to go to south of the tree gnome strongholds right here. You're going to want to come down here to the entrance to the elf kingdom, and you're going to want to go through these gates here, and there's going to be mourners on this path here. You're going to kill one of them. They should drop full mourner's clothing, and that'll be you with a second or your first set. If you need 2 sets, then obviously kill 2. To get here, the best method is either to teleport to Ardung, which I'm not going to do actually, or you can teleport using the grand tree out to the gnome treehold strongholds, like I'm going to do here. Just use the grand tree. This will teleport me out to the wrong place. I'm going to teleport into the tree again, and I'm going to teleport up here to the tree gnome stronghold. From here I will then run directly south like so until I get to the gate. Okay, so this is me arrived at the huge gate which we're about to enter. Alternatively, come to think about it now, you can also use the tree lodestone, Eagle's Peak, lodestone to teleport here and just run directly south. Okay, so now that we're going to enter through these doors here, once we pass through here, I'd recommend for this level 114, I believe roughly, having some food and some prayer if you want. This one's level 86 in fact. So I'm going to attack it. Okay, so there we go, that's me killed it now, and this is giving me full mourner's clothing, so I'm just going to pick all this up. Might not be exactly at this place on the pass, you might have to go further up the pass, and if you need to kill a second, then that's what you'll have to do. Also give you a mourner's letter, which isn't really valid, though you can read it if you want. Okay, so if you're still needing a first clean set of mourner's clothing, you're going to want to follow this step. If you already, however, have one clean set of mourner's clothing, you're going to want to skip forward to the time shown on screen. Alright, so now that you have got full mourner's clothing, what we're going to want to do is deal with this bloody mourner's top. So what we're going to need to do is come here to Taverley. Best method of getting out here to Taverley is probably by using the Taverley lodestone. You can also use teleport runes for Carthaby or Falador or Berthorpe and run here. Once you've arrived here, you're going to want to run south to the bank and then over the bridge to the east, and you'll be roughly where I'm standing. I'm standing just about here where the Slayer introduction stuff is. Now what you want to do is in Mourning's End Part 1, we stole out this laundry basket, a bar of soap. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to steal a bar of soap. We're going to wait until Tegid is looking away, and then we're going to steal the bar of soap. Now for this you also need a bucket of water in your inventory. Use the soap on the bloody Mourner's top, and that's going to scrub away, and that's going to give you a nice clean Mourner's top like so. Alright, okay, so it actually turns out if you do examine the Mourner's trousers, it's going to say that these are in need of a good tailor. They actually got ripped while we're picking them up or fighting for them. So what you're going to need to do is you're going to get 2 pieces of silk and a piece of bear fur, and you're going to want to come to Lletya here and then you're going to want to come in to this shop here. Basically this is all to do with silk and clothing. You're then going to want to talk to Arianwyn, and she is basically going to fix this up for us. So hello, can I help? And then I need option 3, I have all I need to mend my trousers. Pass it here and I will get started. She'll take that. It's going to take 1 minute to get done unfortunately, so come back in 1 minute. Looks like shout out to this person here. Thanks a lot. Anyway, come back in 1 minute's time and then she should have your trousers ready for you. Okay, so after a minute has passed, what you're going to do is you're going to go over and talk to her, and then she's going to say, I have your trousers ready for you, and then she'll hand you them over. That is, you now got, well, I've got other parts of my bank, a full Mourner set complete with no damages or marks on it. Okay, so let's start this quest now. We're going to start this quest by speaking to Arianwyn, who is just in the building to the bank. She's going to say, Bigfoot 500, you're the person we need, and then basically you're going to ask what's wrong, and then basically our person's side, I think it's Thorget, is going to be saying that there's something wrong, and then basically we're going to be offering our assistance and helping him out. So you'll select the option, okay, I'll help, and then basically you're asking what I need to do. Skip through all this, and then make sure we have our Mourner's clothing ready, and then that should be the quest complete. The quest started, sorry. She'll also give you this, a blank teleport crystal, which will be needed throughout this quest. Alright, so it turns out that we need to give our other Mourner set to Arianwyn. So if you don't have it in your inventory already, make some space. I've just withdrawn it out of my bank, so I'm going to use it on her, and then you're going to say, Arianwyn told me to bring some Mourner gear, so here it is. Yeah, sure, take it. So that's you giving away your other set. So now she's got some on, or he, I'm not at all sure if that's a guy or a girl, and we've got a set on as well. Okay, so once that is done, we're now going to teleport out to our dung. We're going to leave her alone, and then what we're going to do is we're going to head out to the Mourner's hideout, which is in western Ardung to the north. So follow this route on the screen. Right, okay, so once you arrive in, open the door, then open the door again to the left, and then go into the corner and climb down the trap door even. So once you're down here, what we're going to need to do is we need to talk to the gnome in the prison cell, but we don't have access to the prison cell, so you're going to come in here, and this is the head Mourner. What you're going to do is search desk. You're going to obtain 2 keys, which are going to be the tarnished key and the new key. Right, unfortunately, because I already had the keys in my bank actually, what I had to do is I had to go back for them. If you do already have them in your bank, make sure they're in your inventory. If you don't, search this desk and you will obtain them. So what we're going to do now next door is go next door and open the cell. And then you're going to walk in and you're going to come over and talk to the gnome. Then you're going to say, talk about within the light, which is the quest we're doing. What are you after now? And then basically is going to talk about what we've done previously, bring them toad crunchies, but we're going to ask him for a favour, and then we basically need a disguise sort of diversion. So you can either choose here, it doesn't really matter. I'm going to stay undercover, and basically I'm just going to make something up, though he suspects that you're not actually a Mourner, because, well, funnily enough, we're not. So he wants freedom, so we're going to tell him that okay, he can get his freedom. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go back next door, and then we're going to talk to head Mourner, and then we're going to talk about the gnome, and then he's going to ask what do you want, and then you're basically going to say that holding the gnome is a bit of a security risk because someone might sneak in and try and get him out. Right, so this is where you have the choice again here, either or. It doesn't really matter, it doesn't affect the outcome. I'm just going to release him because I'm a nice guy. Release, and then basically you're just going to have to, if you do select release anyway, we can just continue the dialogue until it closes. Okay, so once you've done that now, with the tarnished key, we're going to open the door here to the west, and then we're going to go through, and then we're going to start to run in a westerly direction, past these dark beasts to just before the Temple of Light. I'd recommend now taking off your mask. And once you get to about here, just before the bodies, don't go past the bodies, what you're going to want to do is chant to blank teleport, and then you're going to enter into a cutscene. And then basically where we've just been, 2 mourners are going to be like, can you hear that? And then they're going to say their ears hurt, and then that is us activated the crystal. So now that we've done that, we're going to have to go back to Lletya and talk to Arianwyn. So we should just be able to activate our crystal teleport seeds. If you don't have that, then teleport out to the lodestone and make your way back into Lletya. Once you've arrived, come back in and talk to Lletya, who is standing in. So once you've returned, you're going to use the enchanted teleport crystal on Arianwyn, and you can say, yes, I tried my best. They give some feedback. Well, that's first chant, that's really amazing. He's going to say, and then I'm going to skip through that, and that is us done that part of the quest. Alright, okay, so you're going to come and talk to Arianwyn again, and you're going to ask about those tasks that I need to do. I'm going to skip through this, and she's basically just going to ask you what we need to do. So we need to go back out to the stronghold and to the Temple of Light. So I'm ready, and let's go. So there we go. So the enchanted teleport crystal, basically which we just done, links us up where we were just basically at a few minutes back. Okay, Arianwyn, it looks like it's clear. So she's teleported with us now, and what she's going to do, so for some reason my summoning's on, she's going to act as a guard sort of thing, and we need to basically get through to where the death altar is. So for this you might need some food and some prayer, so I'm going to get ready my protect from melee on. Although she does cover you and kill the dark beast, you're still likely to get hit. So what we're going to do is run into the temple. Listen to this part closely, very closely. You're going to want to run into the temple and run up the staircase onto the 2nd floor. You're then going to want to run in a southerly direction. I'm facing north at all times during this. Directly south until you get to the wall where there's a ladder on the wall. Not the best graphics, but it is on the wall. From here you're going to want to run up north 1 or 2 clicks, and then a tiny bit to your west and a tiny bit to your north until you come to a staircase which you're going to want to go down. You then want to go down again, and this is you back on the bottom floor. Now there's someone else here actually. I think there's a lot of people doing this quest right now, obviously because Elf City is about to come out, so let's not try to get confused here. But Arianwyn is still with us, so we're going to pass through this light door. Now if for some reason the light door beam of light is facing in the other direction, then what you want to do is activate your Wicked Hood, and then you want to teleport to the death altar, exit the death altar via the portal, and then you will come out just outside the death altar just through here, which I'll show you in a minute. So we're going to pass through the light door, as will Arianwyn, I hope. Then we're going to search the pillar, and you're going to need to rotate the beam of light in the other direction so we can get through there. And unfortunately get attacked by a dark beast. Arianwyn, it would be sound if you could help me out. So we're going to rotate the mirror like we did in Mourning's End Part 2. I'm going to rotate it in this direction here. So it's just 1 rotation of the mirror. And then we're going to walk over here. Whoa, a bit of lag, sorry about that. And then we're going to pass through the light door, and this is the death altar here. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk to Thorgal, that's pronounced. You're going to talk about Within the Light, because the other option is about Mourning's End Part 2. We made it, and both still in one piece too, so Arianwyn does come beside you now. And then basically this lands up. I need to start a talk to Arianwyn now, so I'm going to speak to Thorgal and let him update me on the situation down here. No problem, do you need me to do anything? Arianwyn is going to say yes, if you wouldn't mind taking a quick look at the pillar itself. The energy from it did some dangerous stuff to you, so I imagine you can touch it. Let us know if you find anything. Okay, so I'll get right on it. So what we're going to do is we're going to come out here. This pillar is shaking, yes, it's a bit weird, so we're going to investigate the energized pillar. And then the pillar seems to do no harm. The energy it produces reminds you of the power crystal in the Temple of Light. Okay, so that's really all it tells us. So once we have done that, we're actually going to place this trinket on the statue, and then what's going to happen is that's going to happen and our whole screen is going to go white. That's going to make a difference. So you're going to say, wow, that's different, I better better let Arianwyn know what is happening here. I do apologise, I'm struggling a bit to talk today. Well, things just went from strange to, well, something else. And I would agree with that. Sorry, I was deep in conversation with Thorgal here, I missed it, what happened. And then you're basically just going to say what happened, that there was a reaction when you put the crystal in. If the trinket is too small, try something bigger, like yourself. Or we could try you. Well, this is what we're going to do, and basically what you're going to select here, you're going to say, but you're similar size to me. 10 out of 10 for observation. Let's get on with this. So unfortunately we're going to have to jump on to the death altar. So Arianwyn is going to say here, okay, well this may sound dangerous, I'm sure it's very straightforward, just repeat the process of how it made the trinket. Well, I took the trinket to the death altar, so we can skip through all this now. And then we're going to go into the death altar. You will maybe require your death talisman for this. So once you're in here, you're going to come over and talk to Thorgal. And then basically select within the light again, and then need to get up on there. So what we're going to do is you're going to hit OK, let's do this. Make sure you're ready to run, because there's going to be sort of a wee time limit thing after this. So okay, here we go. So he's going to jump us up onto death altar, and you sort of enter a wee cutscene where you can't move, and basically you're being powered from the death altar. Right, okay, so he's going to say, well, we can't imagine what happened, yada yada yada. So I very quickly, before something wears off, I've got this circle around me, I need to get through here, I need to pass through here, we need to get up to the black crystal, so I need to move very fast here, so I need to run back through the light gate, and I need to run over to where this red pillar is, I need to rotate the mirror once, which to the east, and then pass through the light door. We're then going to climb up the stairs once. Listen closely again, we're going to take the stairs to the north this time, then run directly in an easterly direction until you come to the end, and then a tad south, and you should see a black or purple sort of crystal. And what you're going to do is you're going to use yourself on it, it's going to pass something to you. You're then going to run back. In your chat box, as you can see below, the crystal empowers the energy within you. So you're going to come back the way you came, so this time it's west, then a little bit south, down the stairs again, pass through the light gate, very quickly change this, rotate mirror once, and then this time actually we're going to investigate the statue outside, so we're not actually going back in like so. Now we're going to touch it, and with this power we're going to land up being inside here. Now this is sort of another light maze sort of thing which we did in Mourning's End Part 2. However, happy to let you guys know that this one takes so much less time than Mourning's End Part 2. Should only take us about 10 minutes instead of like fucking 40. So this is in a wee cutscene right now, it's just showing us around the room. And then basically it's telling us that there's 4 switches on the door. But don't worry, you don't have to read this because I will talk you through this. That is the first beam of light entering the room. And we basically need to work all this out. Okay? So you'll exit the cutscene, and I guess let's get on with this. Right, okay, so now that we're in the maze room, we're going to come over here and we're going to search the dead slave. Basically what he is going to give us, if you don't already have a colour wheel, I still have mine from my last quest, you're going to get a colour wheel, and you're also going to get this notes which you're going to want to read through. Basically it just summarises what we're about to do. So as you can see here, we've got a blue beam of light coming into this room. I must say that this is sort of, it's going to be different to every account. Fortunately for me, the blue light's coming in from the top, red then green. However, these could be altered around. However, I've not actually seen any of that, I've just heard that. That's a rumour. Okay, so what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to try and get this blue beam of light through down into the yellow sort of portal thing. So we're going to do that first of all here. Just follow what I'm doing on screen here. So first of all, we need to chop this crystal down and we need to fix the hole. So it's chop and then fix, like so. As long as you have a hatchet and a knife on your tool belt, then you'll be able to do this. And then the beam of light should just be able to pass through like so. You're then basically going to be able to rotate some of these, but not all of these. So the first one, what we're going to do here is rotate this one up, like so. I then need to rotate it that way actually, so funnily enough I need to rotate this over here. This one needs to go to the top, so the beam of light needs to go, if we're facing north actually, it needs to go west 1, south 1, then it needs to come along, I believe, west 3, and then from there it needs to go north about 5 or 6 to the other wall really, and then it needs to go west 1, like so, and then that should hopefully beam the light out in a westerly direction, and then we enter a wee cutscene, and that gives us our second beam of light. Okay, so for this second beam of light, what we're going to need to do to write that, first of all let me just summarise the blue beam of light, because I know this is probably going to be the most confusing part. So it's west 1, south 1, west 3, north 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then west 2. Okay, for the second beam of light, we're actually going to need the red and the blue beams of light to go into the green sort of machine there, the receiver there. So how are we going to do this? That's a very good question. Well, what we're going to do is we are going to start off with the red light here, and it's going to come west 2, and then it is going to go north 1, and then it's going to go west for as much as it possibly can, right into the green receiver. Okay, so as you can see here, we've gone west 2, north 1, and west 2. Then the two beams of light should be passing through here, the red and the blue. So then we're going to rotate these two beams of light together, and we're going to rotate them into a westerly direction for west 2. So they're joining up and then going west for 2, which transmits them both into the green receiver. Right, okay, so now that we have done the red and blue into the green receiver, we're going to need to do the next one because we now have a green beam of light. So this one is a wee bit more easier actually. What we need to do is get rid of the red light, so we need to go back to near enough its source, the pillar just west 2 of its source, and we just want to transmit the red beam back on itself so it ends at this pillar here. Because for this next one we only need to actually use the green and the red beams. So what we're going to need to do facing north is we need to get these two over here into the, I think it's a white sort of receiver, or no, no, we need to get them into the red receiver, sorry, actually we'll ignore the white receiver for now. So what we need to do here is we actually need to come over and we need to transmit the blue one. So let's go back down to the blue. So the blue, as far as we know, is going west 1, south 1, west 3. We need to change this and make this to west 5. So we've rotated it there, so it's going west 1, 2, 3. It was already going 3 west. It's now 4 west, and we're going to change it again to 5 west, like so. Then with the green beam of light, we're going to go over to where it is right now, and then we're going to transmit it another west. Now coincidentally it's actually going straight over there to what was, I'm pretty sure, the green receiver, but instead what we're going to do is, I think it is the third west pillar, we're going to want to transmit it south so it joins on over there. So far the green pillar is coming west 3, it's then going to go south for 3. Sorry, one more. So it's going to go, the green one is going to go west for 4, then it's going to get rotated, and it's going to go south for 3, and it's going to join up with the blue, and that's going to transmit out into the red receiver, and then that is going to be that one complete. Skills, backpack, equipment, prayer, backpack. Alright, okay, so for this last one, basically, the black receiver is either going to be there or it can be in any one of these 4 positions. If you're lucky enough to have the black receiver in this point here, then you can follow my guide. If not, I've been using a guide that has this one up here as the black receiver, so you have to do a wee bit of problem solving thinking this out, or try and find another guide, because unfortunately I will not be able to help you out here. But basically, if you do have your black receiver like this, then what you're going to want to do is basically do this exact thing which I've got set up here. We'll make one altercation. So the green beam here for this final one is going to be going west 3, south 2, and then west 3 again, and then that will be going into the black receiver directly. Now the red beam, what we're going to want is we're going to want it to come west 5, and then coincidentally it's going to go down 1 as well, so it lands up in this crystal core transmitter sort of thing there. And then finally the blue one, this is the most important one, and this is the change we're about to make, and this hopefully should work. Blue is going to go west 1, south 1, it's then going to come along for 1, 2, 3, and 3 only, and then it's going to get transmitted up the way. And then that's basically going to bounce the beam off, that's going to unlock that, and that's going to drop a ladder down for us to climb up. So as you can see here, this is what I've done, this is my complete solution here. So the blue is coming west 1, south 1, west 3, north 2, it's joining up with the red beam there and coming along and joining up with the green beam there. So that there is my complete solution if your black gate is there, okay? So have a look at that, pause that if you need to. I'm going to move on to the next step if I can remember what it is. This bit is actually quite important, you're going to need your food, and probably I would recommend now putting on rapid renewal because your prayer is about to drain. Basically we've sort of got a maze here, and if you look at the mini-map we have to follow an S round. We need to get over to this sort of crystal ballista sort of thing here, but the problem is there's no paths in between all these things here, so we need to use this jumping thing. But if you look over here, every so often there's going to be spikes coming up and they're going to damage you, so you need to watch out and time your jumps appropriately. So I'm going to jump over to this first one here, and it's quite a sort of trek round, but basically what you want to do is you want to jump over it when the spikes are up, like so, and then you want to move, or maybe not, maybe vice versa actually. I do apologise about the background noise, honestly my flat tonight has been absolute like chaotic, but basically what you want to do is you want to work your way around. So I'm going to speed this up because this one is going to take me some time. I'm going to already put on rapid prayer, and because I've got energy and prayer pots, whatever you have, you'll be able to do it successfully. Alternatively, you can actually just go for it if you've brought enough food and just fucking go out all sprints. However, that does have its advantages if you're nice and fast, know where you're clicking, but also has a load of disadvantages as well. Right, okay, so once you get round here, gonna cross over here. Now what I did in the end was I just absolutely went for it, I sprinted my heart out there, and it sort of backfired a tad, but anyway what we're going to do now is we've got to basically get this ballista to hit this thing on the wall here, this target, so we need to click at the exact right time. Unfortunately I missed, so just do it again, wait for it to come back, it's not going to go anywhere. As far as I know you don't have a limited amount of shots, so what you want to do is just about before it's going to pass over, you want to hit fire, and unfortunately I think I fucked up. I had 2 shots and it seems to have disappeared actually, not at all sure where it has gone to. I don't have a bit of lag, but I must have actually hit it there, so it didn't really come up very amazingly. But it says as you hit the target area, far below shakes violently, something else is revealed. So unfortunately, well, the ladder has came back, and basically it's unlocked a door in the previous room. So what we're going to do now is we're going to have to go back round like we just came over, which I know is an absolute bitch, but it has to be done unfortunately, and we'll get to it, okay? Okay, so again just jump back. If you need to time it, then time it. If not, just make sure that you click on the platforms and you know which ones you're going to nice and early. Make sure you keep on your toes, and you shouldn't take too much damage. That's why I've not brought a lot of food. But anyway, once we have, we're going to jump back over to the ladder, and we're going to go back down into here. Now fortunately this door is open here, it wasn't before, so we're going to pass through this door like so, and then we're going to walk this way, and we can't go any further, but there's going to be a search, there's going to be an elf messenger, and we're going to search it. like so, and then basically it's going to give us, that's my letter from earlier on, it's going to give us a report, and basically it's just, to my concern, it's information about what is going on in the Temple of Light, so you can read over that. There would also going to be a wee dialogue message popped up there. Unfortunately I clicked off it there, but what we're going to do is we're going to leave this now, so we're going to exit via the teleport portal, and then you'll come back to here and you'll realise that, well, Arianwyn and the other person have just disappeared, so we're going to have to go find them, and they're going to be in Lletya. So we're going to activate the teleport crystal and we're going to go back out there, and that fortunately is the quest complete. So if you've got prayers on or whatever, you can turn them off now because we're no longer in a combat zone. Alright, so now that you're back in Lletya, talk to Arianwyn, and basically she's just going to say apologise for leaving, yada yada yada, and then basically you're going to tell her what you found when we went up into that extra room. You're going to hand over the note, the report, and then it's basically going to talk about the Elf Kingdom and the city, and that will be quest complete. Congratulations, you've completed Within the Light. Your rewards are 2 quest points, 35,000 agility XP, 20,000 fletching XP, 20,000 woodcutting, 20,000 range XP, and 2 treasure hunter keys. So that is quest complete, guys. Hope you have enjoyed watching this video. Luckily enough, I managed to get another agility level up. This is really good quest for XP actually. Anyway, next quest will be Plague's End. That will be out within the next few days. It will be linked in the end slate. However, obviously there won't be a link there until it is up, so don't get too excited. It should be out by Thursday, so in 2 days time. Please leave this video a like rating and share it with your friends. It does take me a long time to make, and I do put my heart and soul and try and make these the easiest they can be for you guys. Thanks for watching, and I'm out. Alright guys, as I said, if you have all not already, like this video, please leave a like rating as it really does help me out. Any questions you've got, post them in the comment section below. I will try help you out. I think one major problem will be if your beams of lights are coming out from different areas, or you need to get them into different areas in the light beam room. My walkthrough might not help you on that part, so what you might need to do is search Within the Light on Google and use maybe RuneHQ or Wikipedia's guides, because they do seem a little bit different to mine. However, if you do think about it, you can probably solve it like I did, though it did take me a few extra minutes. Plague's End is coming out within the next 2 to 3 days, so it will be out hopefully by Thursday night at the very latest, and then that'll be us completed the Elf Quest series. 2 videos you might have missed. My first one is a Shadow over Ashdale quest guide, so if you've not done that quest, it's one of the newest ones in the game, bar Plague's End. Go check that out. Really easy quest, really short, doesn't take very long at all. Also check out my RuneScape money making guide if you haven't already. Make sure to subscribe for more content, guys, and I'm out.